Welcome to the first installment of Cooking with Chef Pudge. I'm your host, Chef Pudge. Now, you might be wondering, Pudge, what are we making today? I had not initially planned on even doing a channel like this or anything like that. This idea was actually given to me by my girlfriend, but tonight we are making spaghetti. To get started, you need this big ass fucking log of ground beef. Now, I got this from Walmart. Doesn't have to be in Walmart. Doesn't even have to be a log of ground beef. But if you do buy a log of ground beef, this one is 3 pounds. You're going to want to cut it into thirds. Ideally, one into pounds, just to have it separate if you want. For this recipe, I'm going to use 2 pounds of ground beef because I really fucking like ground beef in my spaghetti. So, I need both hands here. So we're going to bring over, we're going to turn the action cam as best we can. And I'm just going to kind of take this knife here, and I'm going to cut it into thirds. And by that, I mean I'm going to just cut off a third of it because we're using 2 for this recipe. So, I would say probably about to this white line here is about a third-ish. Maybe a little bit in. We'll go a little bit in. So you just take your knife and you cut through that. And you got a tube of ground beef separated into not quite halves. This is my dog. So the next step, ideally, is you would get out your pan and stuff. I kind of already got out my pan, so a little bit ahead of the curve. But you want to kind of get a big pan because we are using 2 pounds of ground beef. And I would say we should also get out a large pot, fill it full of some water and salt to put the spaghetti noodles in. So you open up here, you get your big pot, you eat it in the sink, and you start filling it with water. I don't do measurements, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and be like, that's good. Yeah, that's probably good. And you bring the water, and you also put it on the stove, and you might as well start the stove. Then I also, to help improve the boiling, make it go faster, well, first I gotta add some salt to it. I'm all over the place. Yeah, that's probably good. I like to add a lid over top of it to help it boil. The next step, take your ground beef, put it in your skillet here. I'm gonna get the skillet going. Maybe. Ooh. Pro tip, have a fully working gas stove. I do not. You could add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil to this. I think that the meat grease should be enough to make it not stick. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into the skillet. It's going to take both hands, so I'm going to stop the video here. Okay, so I got the tube ground beef out. As you can see, they kind of came out in chunks. So what you really need to do is you need to start breaking this up a little bit, getting it into a little more, smaller chunks. By the way, of course, like I said, you don't have to use a meat tube. I just happened to buy that from Walmart because there was a meat shortage at the time. I don't really know if that's still going on, but Walmart didn't have a lot to choose from in terms of whatchamacallit, ground beef. So I was a little bit stuck with this option, but it will work. Use 2 hands so the skillet doesn't go flying everywhere. This meat kind of looks like it's a lot for the pan, too much actually, but once it cooks down a little bit, it should be fine. So we're just gonna kind of leave it like that for a few, and then we are gonna come over here and get our seasonings. Okay, so in terms of salt, I have this nice Clover Valley coarse sea salt, but I also have this sriracha salt. Ordinarily, most people will probably go with the sea salt, but I'm gonna go with the sriracha. So you want to open that up, and then just kind of sprinkle it. Is any even coming out? Action cam. It is, but very, very slowly. Is this kind of clumped together? Maybe? I don't know. Okay, sorry about that. There we go. It was clumped together. So just kind of, salt your meat to your taste. I just kind of salt the meat. Hope that's enough. Get some pepper. So as you can see, this is kind of not the best meat out there. It's real oily, but it's what Walmart had at the time, so it is what it is. And then I use this in practically everything, but I think that this is definitely important, for spaghetti. So garlic powder, I like it a lot. You don't have to put that much. I wonder if I have onion powder. So you pull out your seasonings, most of which you don't use. Could add some chili powder, but I'm gonna steer away from that. I don't think that I have any onion powder, but I would recommend. So, basically, I'm going to let this cook and brown and let that come up to the boil, and we'll meet you back here once that's done. Okay, two things are happening right now. Water is boiling. Let's turn that down a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to come over here and get your pre-made pasta. You could be a cool kid and make it yourself, but I'm not. And then you want to... how am I going to do this? You want to open the pasta. I'm just going to throw all the spaghetti in there. You should probably break the pasta because otherwise it will catch fire. Speaking from personal experience. So you're going to come over here. I'm just going to break the pasta a little bit. Let's get more spaghetti. And make a mess. And you come over here, eat it in your pot. And then you take any remaining spaghetti. I cleaned these counters, by the way, like not that long ago. But like, make sure you have clean counters, yo. Break the pasta. I mean, you probably don't gotta break the pasta, but it does burn. Okay. So, there's that. Pasta's in there. I have successfully made a mess. Next thing that's happening is the burger meat is done. So, what you want to do is you want to come over, since this has a lot of fucking oil in it, you want to just figure out how to do this safely. You want to just kind of run that through a strainer. I'm gonna, give me a second here, try to make this action-packed. You wanna drain your meat is what you wanna do. And be safe and do this two-handed. Okay, so I drained the meat. The meat has been drained, as you can tell. And now we're just gonna wait for the pasta. Alright, so once your noodles are to the point that you like it, just drain them, man. I mean, it's as simple as that. I ain't gonna tell you how to cook your noodles, so just when they get to the point that you like it, drain it. Now I'm gonna bring the action cam over to the sink because I need two hands. So we are going to just kind of, yeah, that's good. Might lose some noodles. That sucks. But, don't let that deter you. So you take, I only lost a little bit of noodles. So you take your noodles, put them back over there. Now, I want to stress. Yeah, you do this however you want to do it. Some people like their spaghetti and their sauce separate, and then you add the meat to the sauce, and then the pasta's done. put some pasta down on your plate, and then add the spaghetti meat sauce. I, on the other hand, very much like them together from the start. So, the rest of this recipe is going to go by how I would do it, but basically, if you want them separate, last step, add your sauce to the meat, make it warm, and then serve it. So, disclaimer aside, I have a meat flavored sauce from Walmart. And I'm a saucy boy, so we're going to use both of these. First step, I'm going to take the meat, just kind of yeet it in this pan. Then take that, put it in the sink. You're done with it. And then I'm going to take can of sauce number 1, and I'm going to open it. A little harder to do with one hand holding the camera, but we got it. I'm just going to add that all in there. Some people would maybe add some water to this can and get the rest out. I'm not going to do that. Can of meat sauce number 2. Add by the way, this is going to serve a good bit of people, probably multiple days. That's just how I cook. And then final step is you just mix it all together. So, a lot of pasta, so it needs a lot of sauce and a lot of meat. And you just add that shit together, man. I don't really know what else to tell you, but just kind of try to make sure everything is nice and fuck. And that's what I get for doing this with one hand. But fuck it. Okay. So there you have it. Can't really tell with this camera, but there's a lot of sauce in there. Spaghetti. Let's get a close-up shot. Try to get that shit in focus. And the camera doesn't do it justice. There is a good bit of sauce in this bad boy. Alright, hope you enjoyed watching. Little friend tribute there. Peace out.